me, Kevin Smith, at Meltdown Comics in Los Angeles, getting ready for Comic-Con International, man, and IMDb at San Diego Comic-Con, where we're going to talk to all the movers and shakers and see everything that's going on in Con Weekend. And speaking of movers and shakers, there's one mover and shaker next to me, ladies and gentlemen, who is Con royalty. Give it up to the great, the immortal Wil Wheaton. Wil? Thank you. This is all a way of saying, like, your geek bona fides are legit. You've done Star Trek, which of course is massive in our pop culture world. You've also dwelled in Stephen King world as well, man. One of the most high profile things you did in your childhood was Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Which, like, even now echoes decades later when you watch Stranger Things, you can't help but feel the element.
My wife and I were watching Stranger Things. So we get to this episode where they're walking down train tracks and I just get like really tense. And like, I leaned over to my wife and I was like, that's not an accident, right? I mean, that's Stand By Me, right? I mean, they're doing homage to all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I kind of think it is. And then I heard that the Duffer Brothers, when they auditioned the kids, they had them read scenes from Stranger Things, but they also had them read scenes from Stand By Me.
Are you kidding?
They wanted to cast kids who were able to relate the way we were able to relate to each other. That is such a huge compliment to Rob Reiner, who cast all of us and put us in that movie.
Is that how you guys wound up together in Stand By Me? It was Rob Reiner going, I like this chemistry?
Yeah.
Had any of you known each other prior?
I knew River and his family because, in the weirdest coincidence, River and his family lived literally around the block from me.
Are you kidding? Really?
It's so weird. And the reason that I knew them is they were the kids who all had the weird nature names.
Right.
That was how I knew all of them. But we weren't really close until we started filming. And then we were really close right up until about 18 months or 2 years before he died. One of the reasons that I think that movie endures so much is that anybody can relate to it, whether you grew up in an urban or rural area, because everybody has those kinds of friendships.
Vern, there's something on your neck. Yeah, right. I'm not falling for that one a chance. No, Vern, there is something on your neck. It's a leech. Leeches! Oh my God!
The characters are so archetypical. But Rob just cast 4 boys who were basically those characters. And it's kind of weird, like how we all kind of grew up and have lived out the adult lives of those characters as presented in the fiction. Like, I'm primarily a writer now. And like, I really made a name for myself as a writer by telling narrative nonfiction stories about my childhood. And that
You're gonna make me cry, dude. It's like watching a real life sequel to Stand By Me.
Yeah, it's really, it's really weird when I stop to think about it, and I stop to think about like how all of us have just like it was prophetic, you know?
Right.